Uh, can you hear me? Am I audible to all? So one topic is there, machining time. Machining time in a drilling, turning, shaping, or in a planer. We'll discuss this. Okay. So this is an important topic. Gate has asked many questions from this concept. So we'll discuss this. Okay, can you see that my writing is visible to all? So machining time in drilling, first we will discuss drilling. Drilling, in a machining time in drilling. So you know what is drilling operation? There is suppose we want to drill a seat or a, this is the thing, right? We have on a slab where we want to make a hole, drilling, or we have to make a hole. So we have this is your drill. This is your drill. This is drill groove. This is drill. So this is your drill. This is your job or workpiece. Where you want to make a hole, thickness is, this is your workpiece. So this is your axis of the drill. It rotates within a speed n, that is RPM, and it moves in a downward direction. So vertical feed is F, that is millimeter per revolution. It means vertically it moves in one revolution. This much millimeter moves. F millimeter moves. N is the RPM of the spindle. This is RPM. Thickness that is to be drilled is L. Suppose L. So what is the machining time? How much time how much time is required to make this hole? So T is machining time. Machining time. So this is your minute. It may be, sorry, it is in minute. Then L is your thickness of the workpiece. So this is your in millimeter or your convenient. D, that is diameter of the drill. Diameter of the drill, that is also in millimeter. This we call, this is H, that H we call approach of the drill. Approach of the drill. Approach of the drill. And that H is equal to approach, and that is equal to 0.3 D, where D is your diameter of the drill. So L is length of axial travel, right? Length of axial travel in downward direction. Axial travel, or we can say it is in a vertical direction, particularly downward. So length of axial travel. So this drill has to travel in downward direction. So that L is equal to this L plus this H, means L plus 0.3 T. This is your approach. So basically, basically, uh, total length, I mean, the drill has to travel this much extra, that we call approach. So total distance that is to be traveled by the drill in downward direction is L plus 0.3 D, where this D is your diameter of the drill. So machining time, you know, L by Fn. So L is here is L plus 0.3 D divided by F is your in a millimeter per revolution, and N, that is in RPM, and this is your millimeter. So you can calculate machining time in drilling this much. You have to use this formula 0.3 D. That approach is compulsory. This is the extra table H. That is approach. Gate has asked many problem on this. Then one is called, we have already discussed somebody has asked some question. What is the question? Sir, for drill H will be 0.3 D. It depends. It is your groove, helical groove, helical groove drill is there. Helical groove drill. Yes, we take approach 0.3 D. So D is your diameter of the drill. Diameter of drill. So it is different drill, different diameter. Then this approach is mainly depends upon the diameter. Okay, fine. One is term MRR, metal removal rate. Already we have discussed metal removal rate. But in turning, how to calculate this? In turning, you have on a bar. This is your this moves with the speed n. This L is length. This is your unmachined diameter. This is your machined diameter, D. So D is your unmachined diameter, and this D is your machined diameter. N is your revolution per minute. This feed F is your feed, transverse feed, that is millimeter per revolution, that is in transverse direction, that we call transverse feed, right? Transverse feed. You know machining time L by Fn. We have already discussed right now this machining time. Then volume removed. How much volume will be removed? Suppose if you want to machine, so you have to start from here. That is your starting line right now. That is your start, and this is your finish. And you know this much time will be required to finish the job. So how much volume will be removed? So it is almost D minus D, right? A volume. So volume is your almost a hollow cylinder will be removed. A hollow cylinder will be removed. A hollow cylinder will be removed. That is pi by 4 d square minus d square into L. This much volume will be removed. Volume of material removed, volume removed, or volume of the metal removed. This much volume will be removed because initially you have this much, you have this, and finally you have getting this. This diameter is D, and this diameter is D. So this much volume is to be removed. This much volume is to be removed. This much volume is to be removed. We can write this metal removal rate. I mean, what is the rate form? Because this is meter, millimeter, cube, right now, or I mean, it is volume. So rate. So rate will be your volume removed divided by time. How much? So volume is your this pi by 4 d square minus d square L divided by this much machining time L by Fn. So this is way to calculate metal removal rate. Now we can write this pi by 4 d plus d or d minus d, right, into L. LL cancelled, so we can write Fn. This Fn will go up. So we can write like this: d plus d by 2, d minus d by 2 into Fn. So this is your average diameter. means you have, this is your initial diameter, this is your final diameter, so divided by 2, that is your average diameter, into d minus d by 2. What is this? That is d dash into Fn. What is d dash? D dash is d minus d by 2. In fact, this is depth of cut. Depth of cut, because you see here, what is this? This is your d minus, this is your d minus d by 2. This is your depth of cut, because total is d. This one machine surface diameter is d, so this will be your d minus d, right now, and that side also, so you have to divide by 2, so it is your depth of cut. So depth of cut is d minus d, and then, so I have written there d dash, and F is your feed, and the metal removal rate you can estimate from this, where pi is d average, or this is depth of cut. So depth of cut, feed, and RPM, you have to multiply, right now, the metal removal rate. We have already discussed specific cutting power. We have already discussed specific cutting power, that is Fc into V divided by metal removal rate. This we have already discussed. I think I will give some practice problem. Now another topic we'll discuss. One question is there. Problem. Problem. In a drilling of 220 mm diameter hole, okay, this is very easy problem. Put the value, get the answer problem. So we'll not discuss this. Now we'll discuss effect of various parameter, various machining parameter, on a surface finish. This is surface finish is very important in a machining operation. So we'll understand how surface finish changes, or with machining parameters, right? So one by one, see. First is your speed, cutting speed. So common sense tells that at higher speed, volume metal removal rate will be high, but surface finish will be poor. So surface cutting speed. So we have two. One is your ferrous metal, and you have non-ferrous metal. Ferrous means iron, and your non-ferrous like manganese, your aluminum, right now. And again, you have two things. One is your ductile material, and a hard material. So in 4 cases, we'll discuss effect of cutting speed on a surface finish. Effect of cutting speed on surface finish. So you know what is surface finish? Surface finish H, that is average surface roughness. Average surface roughness. Average surface roughness. When we see from the microscopes, your surface looks like this. Finally, you take the average. So this is your H. Second different method is there, root mean square, or your square root mean square. Right now, square, we can do like this, all H1 square plus H2 square plus dot 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 divided by n, or H will be equal to simple H1 H2 plus H3 divided by n. If simple average is there, then your square root average is there. In general, when you machine a ductile material, your this is your H, this is your speed. And one more thing, if I say surface finish good or surface finish increases, it means H decreases. Always means height of that decreases. Surface finish good means H is less. Surface finish increases, it means your H value decreases, and vice versa. Don't think that a surface finish increases. Right now, surface finish increases, then H decreases, or it is just H increases, means surface finish is poor. Surface finish decreases, means surface finish is poor. Surface finish poor. Poor. So with the speed, yes. This is your ductile material case and hard material case. 2 cases we'll discuss. And then ferrous and non-ferrous. That is the important. If anybody wants to write this, you can write. So first I am writing here ductile material. Ductile material. Ductile material. Speed increases, H increases. In case of ductile material, speed increases, H increases. Right? But non-ferrous, because it is ferrous, mild steel. Non-ferrous, non-ferrous, when speed increases, H decreases. H decreases. This is the curve for non-ferrous speed. So in case of ductile material, basically that is your ferrous mild steel, speed increases. H increases means surface finish poor. But in case of non-ferrous, when speed increases, H decreases means you get better surface finish. Better surface finish. Like glass machining. If you want to polish glass, your speed should be very high speed. Speed increases and your surface finish increases. But this is case of non-ferrous, like glass, ceramic, right? Effect of feed and nose radius on on surface finish. You have to remember this H is equal to F square by 8R, where F is your feed, R is your nose radius. It is already written in case of ductile material, you have speed increases, H increases, surface finish poor. Already I have already said. What is his name? Rajat. Already I have written. The ductile material case, when speed increases, surface finish poor. But in case of non-ferrous, you have speed increases, H decreases. I think you have not seen this. Generally, non-ferrous is okay. Effect of nose radius on surface finish. For F, when feed in H depends on your feed and radius, nose radius. We have already discussed in a tool right now. This nose radius, right now, nose radius. This was your nose radius. Basically, nose radius is provided for to avoid the stress concentration and what we call for to make a tool stronger. So when F increases, feed increases, surface. So feed increases, your H increases, means surface finish very poor. Surface finish poor. And when R increases, when you have R increases, nose radius means you have like this and you have like this. H decreases means surface finish good. Good. So you have to remember this. Remember, H is equal to F square by 8R. And again, it also depends on type of cutting fluid used. If if you use same cutting fluid, then this relation holds good. But this is your H, this is your feed. This is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4. So 1 is your dry condition. I am talking about this H is equal to F square by 8R. Dry condition. Second, we are using refined kerosene. And third, we are using emulsion. 4, we are using activated kerosene. Means, so first one is dry condition. You see at lesser feed, because you know metal removal rate is directly proportional to depth of cut, directly proportional to speed, directly proportional to feed. So if you want to metal removal rate, you have to apply more feed. When you apply more feed, right now, more feed means your this average surface roughness increases for this graph. But when you use better cutting fluid, this is better cutting fluid, this is best one, this is an emulsion, then refined. So this graph shifts right. So you can machine at a higher feed at higher feed. That is the point here. But in this is a dry condition, and this is your when this better cutting fluids you use like refined kerosene emulsion with added water, then activated kerosene. Then this you can do machining at higher speed for same surface finish. This is the same surface finish, same surface finish. So you can do machining at a higher feed rate. Then you have a effect of depth of cut on surface finish. So this is your H and this is your depth of cut. So again we want to increase the depth of cut to increase metal removal rate, but this curves like this. Means it is exponentially increasing. Means higher the depth of cut, higher the force, higher the power consumption, surface roughness increases. Surface roughness H increases means you have poor surface finish. poor surface finish. Effect of rack angle on surface finish. Effect of rack angle on surface finish. You know, a rack angle is provided to avoid, I mean, if it is like this, means it facilitate, it is basically give pathway, give path to chip for movement. You see from here, this is your right. So if this angle increases, right now increases, means this chip flow direction will be like this, like this, like this. Right now, first 1, 2, 3. So this 3 is having higher rack angle. Higher rack angle means it is having suppose 10 degree, and this is 2 alpha is your 5 degree, and this alpha is your 3 degree, right? So when alpha is less, it will be stiff. It will be stiff. Stiff. So when alpha increases, it is easy to flow, surface roughness decreases. So we can say this is your H, this is your alpha rack angle, alpha. So surface decreases. When alpha increases, H decreases, means better surface finish. Better surface finish. Effect of relief angle. Relief angle. Again, same thing. Relief angle is that we also call clearance angle. And you know, to avoid rubbing between tool and machine surface, right? This is the this is your clearance angle. This is your clearance angle. So if it is less, there will be a problem because this is the machine surface. This is a machine surface. Machine surface, right? So relief angle increases, your surface finish increases, means H value decreases. So this is your H and this is your relief angle. Relief angle. Relief angle. Effect of side and cutting edge angle. Effect of side and end cutting edge angle. We have already discussed these two angles right now, side and end cutting edge angle. So that H is your feet divided by 4 10 psi plus cot theta, where psi is your minor cutting edge angle, or we call it is side end cutting edge angle, side cutting edge angle, and then theta is your end cutting edge angle. End cutting edge angle, right? Already we have discussed this. This is your psi. Anyway, so you can find this. What happens when psi increases? What happens when theta increases or decreases? You can check with this. I have one problem on this. I have one problem on this. We will solve a problem. So you can check when psi increases, what happens to tan psi? Cot theta, when theta increases, that is end cutting edge angle. And sometime it is important to understand that symbols, surface finish representation. It is important sometimes, surface finish representation. It is very important. It is your, in all industry, this will be required. So you have rough finishing, rough machining. You have to remember this also. Rough machining, you have fine machining, and you have grinding, finish, you have lapping. So symbols, that is inverted triangle. This one, this is 2 triangles, this is 3 triangles, and this is your 4 triangles. And this H value, average HA value, 8, 1, that is 8 to 25 micron, and this is your 1.6 to 8 micron. This is 0.025 to 1.6 micron, and this is your 0.025 micron. You have to remember this value. When rough machining, one triangle value is 8 to 25 micron. Ramachandran G, your interview, they may ask you. This is 1.68 micron. What is the value of triple triangle finish? 4 triangle finish. So when triangle increases, this is the symbols. This is the rough machining, fine machining, grinding, and this is lapping is having 0.25 average thickness. Okay, this was about surface finish. Somebody asked me doubt. What is the sir? Glass is brittle material, right? Yes, yes, Satyam. So everybody understood this, or shall I repeat? Surface finish. Surface finish. Surface finish. Everybody understood this much? At least you have to remember. Yeah, this much you have to understand this. At least that is the minimum. Because many things are there, but minimum things I taught. Now I have a question. I have a question. Problem. Identical straight turning, identical turning operation was carried out using two tools, that is 8, 8. This is your tool signature. Already we have discussed 25 and 0. So 0 is nose radius, no nose radius. And 8, 8, 5, 5, 7, 30, 0. There is nose radius 0. For same feed, the tool which gives better surface finish is, so you have two tools. This is one tool. Suppose this is, I am telling, tool A, and this is another tool, tool B. Now you have to tell identical turning operation. Turning operation was carried out using two tools for same feed. Feed we are keeping same. Which tool will give better surface finish? Please tell me. Answer. What is the answer? So we have already discussed HA or RA is equal to feed divided by 4 n psi plus cot theta. And again I am telling you, psi is your side cutting edge angle, and then your theta is your end cutting edge angle. Okay, please solve me, Akhil. Please solve this question and let me know. Then we'll discuss another concepts. So which tool will give uh, tool A, tool B? Why two answers? Which tool will give? So low value of HA means good. Low value of HA. Which one will you have to check in both cases? And I remember this BS, ES, 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 R. And you know this is rack. This two is rack. This two is relief. Relief, and this two is your cutting edge angle. Cutting edge angle. So this two is your cutting edge angle, this two is your relief, and this two is your rack. So in that problem formula, we have HA is equal to feed is same divided by 4. This is your side cutting edge angle. So you need basically side cutting and end cutting is. So you need basically 7 and this fellow and this fellow, right? So you do like this. HA tan psi plus cot theta. Suppose this is I'm telling A. Then divide HAB. This is A. So feed 4 tan psi plus cot theta B. So this all will be cancelled, right? So HA divided by HAB is equal to tan psi plus cot theta B divided by tan psi plus cot theta A. Now you check what is this value. So side cutting edge angle psi for this tool A and tool B. You know how to. You can. So what is the answer? Which tool will give? So tool A gives low value of HA, hence better surface finish is produced by tool A. Everybody clear? Everybody clear? So now we'll start economics of machining. This we'll discuss later. So we'll start now non-traditional non-traditional machining process. Non-traditional machining process. It is also called advanced machining process. It is also called unconventional machining process. Or or your GATE syllabus is principle PLE, principle of non-traditional machining process. So this is your GATE syllabus. What to teach now? Syllabus. What to teach? Principle of non-traditional machining process. So today we will start this. What to teach? What to teach? Principle of principle. I mean fundamental or concept. So we'll discuss this now. Everybody is fine. You want? Energy is there. Everybody, energy is there. Full of energy. Economics of machining is also there, that I will teach when I will get time. Okay. So first let me cover important thing. So first, why advanced machining process? Why we need, why machining? Why advanced machining? First is your one term is called machinability. Ability to machine, right? No, castability, formability, weldability. It is how easy to do that work. Weldability means how easy you can weld. Formability means how easy you can form a shape. Machinability means how easy you can machine something. So, machinability of different material is different. Titanium you cannot machine, tungsten you cannot machine because of their hardness and strength. Titanium is very difficult to machine. In our BrahMos aerospace, titanium gas bottle are made. So they took years to develop that technology because they have to, at least you require some machining. So advanced and these new advanced materials are being developed. That and finally this material is to be given a shape. Using this conventional technology, you cannot make the shape, so you require that advanced machining process. So first reason for this is new materials with new material, new material with low machinability. Machinability. So when new materials are there with no, low machinability, conventional cannot do, you have to go for advanced. Second, dimensional and surface finish requirement. What is that question? Somebody asked some doubt. Also more, I have already written. Rajat, point number 2. Rajat, already written dimensional accuracy. You need a tolerance of 2. Suppose you need 10 plus minus 0.00001. Surface finish, you need this fellow. 5th, right? No. Decreases risk factor, decreases time. Okay, good. Don't repeat my note things. If you add extra to my notes, I will be more happy. My notes is precise. If you add, but I think no, don't add you, because to the point and major things. Because when you read many things, it is very difficult to remember everything. So you be wise, be clever, and because you have limited capacity, so only most important things, standard things you remember. Because in suppose if you study one importance, so they will tell you 20 importance, 1 2 3 4, but they are all not having much importance. Their order will be different, but there will be something peculiar things that is to be studied, and in any case you have to remember that peculiar things, that peculiar characteristics, right? Now some things that, for an example, major decision is taken by some important only important consideration. There are many things, but what is the important consideration is there, that you have to look. So surface finish is there, but I always appreciate if you read more, because I cannot read now here. Higher production rate and economy. Higher production and economy. Finally everything comes economy. So these are the 3 main reasons. Only 3 I have noted here. Only 3. Why advanced machining? First is new material, low machinability. You need high dimensional accuracy, or surface finish you need, and higher production and economy fine. I tell you one story. I got a job to cut a universal joint. Universal joint. I got a job to dissect, dissect universal joint long back, and that was made of very hard material. It was very smart material, right? And what was that universal joint? You have to make in India. It was imported from USA. So my job is to make it in India. My job was to make in India. My job was to make in India. Universal joint, right? It was like this, something like this. Universal joint. And we need the dissection. We have to cut the material. We have to check the pieces. So we could not do by conventional machining process. We couldn't do. All we approached many workshops, big workshop, they all told, no sir, this material first you have to check in laboratory. We checked the certificate of material. I cannot disclose the material name. Finally, we decided, no, that is to be cut by UDM, right? EDM, electric discharge machining, EDM, USM, not EDM. And we could do that. We dissected it and finally we made it. That time I understood the importance of advanced machining process, because if we could not cut a material, how you will know that what is inside, what is mechanism, which type of gasket is used, what is the material inside, what is the lining, what is the lubricant material, lubricating material. So that advanced machining process concept is very important. You are getting my point? Everybody is getting my point? Everybody is getting that point? And you know what was that joint? That joint was, that joint was, this is stage 4 of a rocket. Stage 4 of rocket. This is your node. This gym ball, it will move like this, like this. This is the universal joint. This pitch, yeah, row, everything can be done. What is this? What is this? What is this? Here it is combustion chamber. What is this? Can you, anybody can guess? Anybody can guess what is this? No, no, what is this? What is this total? Ramchandran, what is this total? Total, what is this? No total. Satellite. No, Amal, it was actually fourth stage of PSLV. Fourth stage of PSLV rocket. Everybody got the importance of now advanced machining process. So we'll understand difference between conventional and unconventional, difference between conventional and unconventional. So I am writing here conventional, and here I am writing unconventional. This is your, we call it is traditional, and that is your non-traditional. Traditional. So why, I mean, the first difference you have to understand is your chip. That is your macro chip. And this is your micro. Means a small chip will be formed, very small, very small. You cannot see, you cannot see, by neck dies. Neck dies. And this is, you can see the chip. You can see. So it is bigger chip, and this is your smaller chip. Very smaller chip. You cannot see by naked eye. Like electron beam machining. Can you see chip? No. All. I am talking about all. It means not it is EVM. You cannot see by. Second, tool must be harder. Tool is hard. Must be harder. Must be harder than workpiece. Otherwise, how this tool will penetrate? Penetration will be possible only when the tool is hard than workpiece. But in this case, not necessary, not required. Because there is no physical contact. Here it is physical contact. Physical contact. Here it is no physical contact. No physical contact between tool and job. Here there is a contact. When there is a contact, it is very, this material tool has to penetrate the workpiece. Tool has to penetrate the workpiece. Tool has to penetrate the workpiece. Then only machining will be possible. But here not required. The tool is here. This is your tool. This is your job. There is a distance. But there will be machining. There will be machining in this process. We'll discuss when I will discuss AGM, or it is USM or ECM or ADM or PALM or LBM or chemical milling. Everything we'll discuss. Then you have fourth, only mechanical energy. Only mechanical energy. Only mechanical energy. Here any form of energy. Any form of energy. Any form of energy. Any form of energy. Whether it is thermal energy, kinetic energy, whether it is thermal, electrical, chemical, electrical, chemical, or it is light energy, light or arc, electrical energy, or it may be kinetic energy, anything. So basic difference between conventional and unconventional is, first is macro chip, bigger, and this here is smaller microchip. You cannot see by naked eyes. You can see tool must be harder than workpiece, right? No, and it is not required. And third is here, there is a physical contact, there will be a touch, and here no physical contact required. And then only mechanical energy. What is the mechanical energy? Mechanical energy, that is soft power. You have moving body. But here it is any form of energy, chemical, electrical, light, arc, kinetic energy, anything. Yes, buddy. New conventional has a low metal and large power consumption. Satyam, you are new to my class. Wait, man. Let me complete the entire conventional machining process. You are very new to this class. After completion, you will understand everything. Everything. Power consumption in a ECM is ECM process that takes highest power in advanced machining process. Electrochemical machining. You are talking something random, and because I have to teach, I am teaching from last 2008 I started. Then there is a gap of 4 years, so almost 9 years I have taught. So I as a teacher I have to teach very systematically. Then only you will understand. Once I complete entire things, you can ask doubt from my content, and I will answer your all questions. But I will ask you to solve first 35 years of the GATE questions, engineering services question at least 10 years, UPSC civil services few questions, but GATE I will recommend you to solve 35 years of the GATE question. Then only I will listen anything. I will not listen anything. Once you complete, suppose conventional machining process is there, advanced machining problem. Once I complete, you have to solve, you have to attempt all GATE question papers till the date. GATE started in which year? You have to check. And then you have to come with all. If you are not able to solve, it's my duty. You can blame me. Oh, sorry, this was not there. I will discuss. I will teach. I will explain you many times. Satyam is from Chandigarh University, right? Is it that Satyam? Fine. And now I think you got right now. It is right now. It is systematic, Satyam. Let me complete everything. We'll discuss one. Have you received my notes? Advanced machining process study material. Whether you have received, Mr. Satyam, have you received my study material? Advanced machining process, non-traditional. No, that is the problem. That is the problem, man. That is the problem. I teach, man. First, I send you all study material. You study at home. Then come to the class just for practice, just for revision, and to ask doubts. There is my phone. Tell me, you send me hi on your WhatsApp. My WhatsApp you send. I will send you material now. Mr. Satyam, send me WhatsApp. Hi, I will send you now. You have to go. Send me on WhatsApp. I will send you material now. How you can attend class without material here? Eh? First you have to study, na. It is just practice, man. Revision class. Doubts. You received material. Check at your site. Check, Mr. Satyam. I have sent already. I have sent. It is going. It is being sent. It has gone. I mean, you check at your end. Now you read that. Fine. We'll continue now. Okay, we'll continue. So only mechanical energy, any form of energy is fine, right? Any form of energy is fine. So what we'll discuss? We'll discuss some non-traditional, some advanced machining process. We'll discuss some advanced machining process. So one by one we'll discuss EDM, LBM, EBM, IBM, ECM, ECG, ECH, ECD, AGM, WJM, USM. So what is this? Electric discharge machining. Machining. What is LBM? Laser beam machining. Electron beam machining. Ion beam machining. This one category. Electrochemical machining. Electrochemical grinding. Grinding. Electrochemical honing. Honing. NING. Honing. NING. Electrochemical deburring. Then this abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, and ultrasonic jet machining. So basically there are three categories. We'll discuss one by one. All we'll discuss. It will take at least 3 classes, or we'll try to complete 3 classes. So, so what we have to understand first, principle of all, how does it work, what is the peculiar characteristics, how, what are the various parameters involved, and limitations, advantage, and some application, and the entire process. So basically in all process, our targets will be first to understand the mechanism. How material is removed, by which mechanism, what type of energy is required, and how that material is removed, what is the energy source, and plastic deform. Again, I'm telling you, what is the mechanism of material removal, which mechanics material is removed, and various parameters. So important one we'll discuss. Just 2 more minutes I will take, then I will close. I will take 2 more minutes, not 2 minutes, it is 5 minutes. Yeah, so a table, generally the table I make in a last, but this time I make in a first. What is the table? This table is V important, because this table you understood means everything you understood. So here I am writing process. These tables give you complete understanding of mechanism of metal removal of each advanced machining process, energy type, and energy source. So gate questions, you can solve using this one. So process, then your mechanism, then your energy type, and then your energy source. This we'll discuss in last, okay? So you have to homework, process, mechanism, energy type, energy source. Suppose our conventional machining process is there. Conventional machining process. You have one tool penetrates, and there is a shear, force acts on the workpiece, and because of this shear stress, material is removed, right? No, so it is basically what is the mechanism. Mechanical mechanism is shear, that is your plastic shear. Shearing force, shearing stress comes in a picture. What is the energy type? That is mechanical, because your rotating parts are there, rotating parts, rotating job, tool, right? No, energy type, it is motion of either tool or job. Job means energy source, we give motion to the tool, right? Motion to the tool, and or we give motion to the job. Sometime in a planner we give job, and in shaper we tool. Turning, our workpiece moves, right? No, in drilling, our drill moves. AGM, just I ask you on whether everybody have gone through these topics before. Please let me know. Yeah, first time, who is the first timer? First timer, advanced machining process, first time, who all are there? First timer, first time who are hearing these names, and first time. Anybody is there who is hearing, listening first time this EVM, LVM, EDM, CHM, or ECG, or ECM, UCM, AGM? No, everybody is have gone through, right? Now, because I don't know whether if anybody. I mean, I start. I mean, I what I what is I am telling you clearly. I always think, and it is because you are in graduation, you have already, either you are in final year or you are past. So you know you have gone through the subjects at least once. I don't teach from introduction. That is my problem. I don't teach from introduction because I cannot waste time teaching introduction, classification, types, like that. So what I understood, and understand that you all are in final year. Ammal, this topic was okay. Say tomorrow we'll discuss. Okay, tomorrow AGM will discuss. So I request you all, requesting all, read the notes, read the notes, read the entire study material, study material. Solve all gate questions. At least you have to read. Okay, so we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, thank you all. Anybody any doubt, please let me know. Tomorrow we'll discuss AGM. Tomorrow, because it is already 9 here. Everybody is fine. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for joining the class. Thank you. Good night, Amal.